Hello and good evening to everybody. This is the flagship show right here, Wednesday Night Fights. Proud to come to you tonight from a Wednesday Night Fights production facility. Awesome night tonight. The streak is on the line. On Your Six versus NFTG. But before all that happens, UGC versus 36 Panzer, and then TNG2 versus Nightmare. So we have some amazing matches set up. Thank you, Beaver, for making this blockbuster night. My commentators tonight, of course, the golfing fool of Wednesday Night Fights. He used to dance, but now he moves it over to the golf course. Mr. Happy Gilmore, Dex, what's going on?
Not much. With yourself?
It's doing pretty good now. My next commentator needs no introduction. The superstar himself. Beaver thinks he's the face that runs the place, but Anarchy's the man behind the controller that runs everything. Welcome, Anarchy.
Hey, how's it going?
No big head or anything, you know.
No, only all the time.
No, only 10 out of 10. That's your just for everybody clarification. The 10 out of the 10, that is Anarchy saying all the time. So gotta love him.
IGN 10 out of 10.
IGN 10. All right, guys. So with this blockbuster lineup, it doesn't stop here, does it, Anarchy? We have even more stuff going on.
Yeah, of course that's just it. Come on. People have come to expect better than that.
Yeah. So, proud to say Beaver has done his job diligently, and we're going to have a very special guest commentator. Everybody knows her. Everybody loves her. Beaver adores her. Miss RaiBOT will be live with us here very shortly. She's going to take part and do some commentary here on Wednesday Night Fights. So, what do you think, guys? Did Beaver, hit a homer here?
Oh, yeah, that's why we keep Beaver around. He never disappoints. I'm actually going to pull her in right now as we speak.
Awesome. So, while we get her in here, do you like to say thank you for all the teams that are coming out this evening?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello,
yes,
how you doing, ma'am?
Yay, pretty good. Now I'm making salmon.
Ah.
I have to eat. You guys have to give me a break.
No,
My cat says hi.
I'm sure the cat enjoys you making salmon as well.
so thank you for taking time out of your life and your kitty cat
No problem.
to come out and visit
I've been
with
meaning
us.
to join for the longest.
So, I know a lot of people usually pretty barrage you everywhere you go is new stuff coming. What's all coming down the line. You know what? We're not going to do anything like that. We're not going to do any questions. All we want to know is, so apparently you love your job there with Wargaming.
Yeah, I do.
And it's one of those, it's glad to see you come out for the community, because Wednesday Night Fight is built for the community.
Of course.
And I know Wargaming, you guys are definitely trying your darndest and everything to help the competitive community go even farther, to live on, make the game continue for years to come.
Yeah, and you know what? Even when we're talking about the competitive side, we definitely wanted to push it way earlier than it is now. But it's also a collaboration with Microsoft and with PlayStation, so they also have their own timelines, and us trying to match to theirs means sometimes we have to delay. But it's not necessarily always bad. We push things for a reason. So, if we want to have a new feature that works, then that's the sacrifice that sometimes we have to make. And, players kind of sometimes feel disappointed about it, but, it ends up being a win-win situation in the end.
Yes.
Well, definitely, there's been it's a tangible thing the last month, 2 months that Wargaming has really stepped up and been a lot more active in it. It's one of those things you can certainly feel that they've been really trying to get things going on the competitive. There's been a lot more news about it and a lot more things being implemented, for it. So hopefully that can continue and people can, start to see more of that.
No, for sure. I completely agree with you on that aspect. And, since we release arenas on Xbox Live, there's been also that demand to also cater for PlayStation. So we are in the works on that. There's conversations and also a few tests that we need to run on that aspect. But it's certainly something that we need to bring ASAP. We don't want our players on the PlayStation side to feel like they're always on the lore content of PlayStation 4, and that includes weekly assault videos as well as the Platoon with the community. And I do have to apologize for that. And I was just realizing that I was doing that, but certainly if the community wants me to play within PlayStation 4 and push more content for that, absolutely, I'll do it.
Who wouldn't want to have RaiBOT over there playing?
They'd be like, you switch sides.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all the Xbox people, she has betrayed us. Kick.
Oh boy.
So that's awesome, and I know that you guys have been working very hard. And it looks amazing. The new war stories that you guys have put out. It's adding a whole new element to the game, and I think it made a lot of people come back to tanks and enjoy that experience that you guys made with the war stories. So thank you on that.
Oh, no, thank you. I mean, again, this is content for you guys. And I don't know how you feel about this. Maybe you can give me some insight or feedback on this. But when we were showcasing it on Gamescom, you know how the War Stories trailer looks absolutely nothing like War Stories, the animated cuts. And someone from the Japanese press, he's like, oh, I wasn't really sure if I was playing War Stories or not because the animations are very different. Why did you decide to do comics? Again, we had that collaboration with the Rollout World Tanks comic series that we did this year and also the past year. And in my mind, personally, I think the comics layouts and the animations, I think they leave more to the imagination that if we actually provide like full animated content, because if you do that, it's like it's in your face, it's right there. But when you have comic animations, I think there's different ways that you can interpret what's happening on screen. That's what I take. Of course, we want to continue to do more of those, but I personally enjoyed those more than if I had like full computer animated 4K animations or something like that. What's your take on that?
Anarchy?
Well, like, I definitely, it was one of those things, whatever you did for the art style, it wasn't why I was playing it, and I wasn't going to get caught up with it. The story was what I felt was the important part, like the narration and everything, and the art style, regardless of if it was a full cinematic trailer or the drawing style, was, second fiddle to the actual story of it, and then the gameplay obviously was good. But I thought the drawing style was actually, it was different. I thought it was pretty interesting, to be honest. It made me certainly watch the whole thing because it was new, where like cinematic trailers, you see them all the time for video games and stuff.
Yeah,
I probably would have skipped it. Yeah, it was eye-catching. Yeah,
it set it apart from everything else that we get splattered with every day, and so I think that's what it drew more eyes the way it was done that way because it was so different.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it keeps it old school-ish, and I like that. I really do.
Totally agree.
I'm excited for the new war stories that come out this month.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Sea Lion. It's coming up on Tuesday. So that's also the same day we're gonna do the developer stream at 3 p.m. Central Time on Twitch.
We
Yeah,
will be
looking
hosting you.
forward to it. No, please do drop the questions. And I had a meeting with Jeff Gregg, who's gonna be at the stream, and I had a meeting with him like about 3 days ago. So I know players were asking like, what's happening with the maps? What's happening with the maps? So hopefully he'll give a little bit of insight. He already gave it to me, but again, it has to come from him, especially because there are certain aspects of it that I did not consider that were affecting the removal of those maps. So hopefully he'll shed more light into that. And I told him that's number one issue, and the number two issue is when are the Swedish tanks? So it's been like that for the past 3 months. But yeah, I do have to agree with the community that there's some at some point we have to give more information for sure to keep you guys up to date.
Well,
With the maps, I don't think people were necessarily like very mad that they were taken out. It was one of those things that people were more or less curious, like what happened, you know? And so that definitely goes along with it. As soon as people know why they were out and that they're coming back and they're not just gone forever, if they are, I'm sure
No,
it'll definitely
they're coming
put
back. I
people's at
promise you
ease.
that.
But it was just kind of like there was an update, and then all of a sudden there was like a couple weeks later, like, oh, I hadn't played this map in a while. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm sure people were just wanting the explanation more than anything.
No, I completely agree on that, and I do recall Payne stating on the last developer stream that that was a mistake on our part, not sharing that information. Honestly, we made the decision to remove those maps, but in the end, we didn't really think of what the community would say, or there's so many maps that we frankly didn't think you guys would notice. Not that we didn't want you guys to not notice, but it was one of those things that we had to remove them immediately because they were going to cause issues. So if we leave those maps and then X amount of players are affected, that's bad. If we remove those maps, then no players would be affected, but the players would be mad at us for taking them away. So sometimes it's kind of like a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, it's a double edge, and sometimes you just you gotta take what you're given and understand that everything is a working product to try to make everything better for us. A better gaming experience with less bugs and everything, just all around.
If you had launched with those maps and they were causing like crashes or something, you guys would have been flooded with tickets.
Yes.
And that would have been a huge game of catch up.
Yeah.
They would have been a very busy day for everybody if it was causing problems for people and whatnot.
And honestly, I didn't really even care that I'm like, oh, okay, they're down. All right, cool. I've been more super excited playing Ravage Capital, which looks amazing.
I really like Ravage Capital. So yeah,
we've been pushing it hard here on Wednesday Night Fights. It almost even with the separation of the spawns, with a lot of things being in asphalt and pavement. It gives a lot of people more mobility, and teams are able to set up. I know and then we're getting ready to do a hard push for your guys' Icebound, but it isn't now like Icebound. The rumor is that it's Stalingrad from PC, an altered Stalingrad. Is that okay to say, or?
Yeah, it is inspired by it. We did have a few changes on it. But like we mentioned before, we kind of look into PC's content and see what works. And they work very closely with us, and they tell us, hey, we like what console is doing this. And then we go ahead and say, hey, we love what PC is doing over there. So certainly it's kind of like some of the aesthetic changes that we did on Ravage City, where we're going to continue to do more of that as well. There's a few maps I'm pretty sure some of you and the rest of the community have been pushing that are on PC that we don't have. You're certainly going to see some of those coming in the next few updates for sure.
That's
amazing. I
amazing.
think everybody understands the game on Xbox looks very good. I definitely prefer the aesthetics of Xbox over PC. Just it's a cleaner looking HUD and everything. for what it's worth. I think the graphics are much nicer.
So, and then here's, I said I wouldn't ask one, but on a serious note, is X, with the new Xbox X coming out, is there any chance of tanks breaking the 30 frames per second, or is that still being discussion?
It's still under discussion right now. It's not a matter of whether the tanks can do it or not, because did any of you get a chance to see the Gamescom presentation by Andy Dorizas?
That one?
He's the lead artist for World Tanks console.
Okay.
I don't think anyone in the community did. But yeah, he had an interview and he was talking about the tanks 4K. The tanks have always been 4K. Since we moved to Xbox One, they've always been 4K. It's just that the console is unable to show 4K because Xbox One doesn't have the capability. So when Xbox One X comes out, there's not going to be no update or anything like that. The tanks are already 4K.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the textures, the MIPS, which is pretty much the texture itself from each layer of the tank, has always been 4K. With that said, since we already had all the tanks working on that, when Microsoft came up to us, they're like, oh, well, then I guess we don't have to do anything about it. So this is how the console operates. They gave us all the numbers and, the qualifications of the console and that, and it's still 30. That's something that, it's out of our hands because, again, we're working on the console. Not if it was our game and if it was our console, maybe we can kind of play around it. Mm-hmm. But it's sort of kind of like Microsoft Xbox requirements for now. It can change in the future. Who knows? It's pretty soon. The console is not even out.
Yeah, and I mean, and I know when Wednesday Night Fights were first launched, one of our biggest things was I'm able to stream in 4K, and because Twitch has the limitations of of only doing the 720 and 1080p, but YouTube has the 4K capability. So we're ready to do that. So it's going to be amazing to see everything in 4K. I truly feel maybe it's going to be over-defined. So much, so much in your face that you're like drooling for a couple seconds there.
Hollywood quality tanks.
Yes.
No, and it's very interesting. When we were doing earlier dev presentations, again, I was talking to Andy Dorizas, and he was giving me the rundown of how long it takes to texturize and design a tank from the ground up. So it's literally about 2 to 3 weeks to put a model together. And this is about a team of 2 or 3 people making the model itself. Then you also have the textures, and that's like another week or so. And then you also have to coordinate the textures and the models with every working part. So that goes into the design and the art team. So overall, each tank is about, before it was 40 hours, now it's about 50 to 60 hours of work. Before it even hits the testing department.
Going over to the test phase. Wow, that's incredible.
So these tanks are just highly texturized, and you seriously have to see them in 4K because they look amazing. They look really awesome. Oh,
I bet. And we seriously can't wait for that. Speaking of people in the community talk about the HD upgrades and stuff like that. And everybody's like the E5 had its. I know I've had a few viewers ask me, is the AMX 5120 going to get that armor buff? That armor buff that PC got, and will it be when you guys finally release the new Swedes?
Which will be soon.
Yeah, it will be soon.
TM.
If the AMX the AMX 5100, the 120, and the 50 would also get an armor buff from that. So
Well, I think on PC they didn't get armor buffs; they just got their HD models. Like the 50B got buffed; it got the extra degrees of gun depression and smaller aim time, or shorter aim time, when the Swedes came out, if I remember correctly. The HD models are like the Bat Chat just got its HD model and stuff. They just every update they roll out a couple tanks, and that those are kind of interesting because sometimes it's a buff, sometimes it's a bit of a nerf to those tanks, depending on with their HD models. But it makes them look much nicer regardless.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? When it comes to like buffs and upgrades, I was talking to Max Chaos, and there are intentions of kind of doing like an evaluation of the tanks that we have right now, with the Swedish tanks coming soon. We every time we introduce a tank, there's always going to be a certain like a certain space of is the game balanced well? Is it working? What needs to be reviewed? Revisions, and we've introduced so many new tanks this past couple months that it's getting close to the time where definitely we're going to do another evaluation. You're talking about the addition of packages, the addition of new guns, the ammunition, new consumables, for example, like the vouchers that we introduce. Every single aspect that affects a tank will have an impact in the ecosystem. So, and in the economy, and I'm not talking about gold, I'm talking about XP and silver.
Mm-hmm.
So certainly that's something that we definitely want to view in the next couple months, and if changes are necessary, we'll make them. We only buff tanks when it's utterly necessary, and that is the very last resort. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure that players know that, and that we don't buff tanks because we feel like it. That is the very last resort that we go to when a tank needs to be buffed.
Well, yeah, well, like we saw, there was an announcement in one of either the September overview or somewhere that there was, I think it might have been Max Chaos was saying there is something coming in the fall as far as game balance is concerned with changes to that.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Something like that is going to be coming soon.
Well, like what you guys did with the Gorilla, where like when it was introduced to PC, it was a very, very strong tank. Some would say considerably too much, but you guys alleviated that with the way it was introduced to Xbox. It was it's a balanced tank. It's perfect. It's definitely not what it was at PC. I mean, the thing when it was introduced then was extremely strong. So I mean, doing that alleviates the need to go back and change things later.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we always have a little wiggle space. And it certainly helps that, for example, that tank being first on PC, we can see what kind of works and doesn't, and then, take it from there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we've got pretty much a lot of stuff taken care of. Wow, this has been awesome. I don't want it to end. I know a lot of the people in Twitch and over on YouTube, they're good conversations going. So I wanted to say thank you. And everybody, yes, that is RaiBOT you here with us. Beaver, well, he talks to you quite a bit when something's needed. I know you have helped out Wednesday Night Fights since the conception, and we greatly appreciate what you've done for us, and essentially what that we would be able to give away all this stuff to the fans and to all the community. And I know that they enjoy it dearly. And the funny thing is, a lot of them they don't want the code. They want the notoriety that they got the code.
They got something.
Yes.
No, I appreciate that. I really do. But my job is my job, and I love the community. I like working with you guys. I love answering questions. I see a lot of passionate players, and sometimes I get pings on PMs like, "Oh, the player was rude to you." He's not rude. He's just passionate, and that's how I see it. That's how I take every single comment, whether it's negative or positive.
I always wondered that.
It's only gonna help the game, and us replying to you guys, it is not only part of our job, but it is a service, and it is a pleasure because you guys are really making the game better. And certainly we are far from perfect. I think no one is perfect, really.
No.
But if we collaborate and we share information, feedback, whether it's good or bad, then we can only make the game better.
Well,
And this initiative is literally coming from Pain God himself, who is very pro community. He's always wanting to know what the community is talking about. I know he's not in the forums a lot, but believe me, he is. He's probably ninjaing on the forums right now. He always takes the time to do so, and it's not just him; it's Lady O and Max Chaos and every single member of the dev team. We're keeping our eyes in the forums and just want to know what the players want, and evaluate if we can or cannot do certain things, and if we cannot, then find a way to implement it somewhere else.
Well, I would imagine it's hard, like you were saying, when people are rude, but it just shows, like, at least they're talking and they're trying to help. It's because they want the game to get better because they enjoy it. If there was a problem, people wouldn't be saying anything and they would just be not playing. But by them bringing questions to you, it's because they love the game. So, I mean, that's definitely a good way to look at it.
yes.
As I'm sure it does get annoying sometimes.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I'm a human being. I'm not gonna lie. There's some times where it hurts my feelings when players can be rude or but it's not them. It's just that they're so passionate, and I get that. I completely understand, and I get like that when I play in a game, or when I see sometimes, the tank that I want, it's gonna get pushed and not get implemented till later. I rage, but it comes from a good place, and I get that. When you work with community, you can't take anything personally, because this game could be helping someone who loves to play tanks, and that is his hobby, and it's making him happy.
Me.
Yeah, there you go. Or this other player plays with his friends, and that's how he communicates and engages with other people. The other day at the player gathering, the one in Let's Battle Tour, Ohio, I met a father and son who don't live on the same state, and they were very gracious and kind enough to share the fact that they are in contact with each other through World of Tanks.
Yes.
So those are the stories that we want to hear, and we do what we do because we know the game provides other than entertainment. It's a vehicle, a method for people to connect and communicate. And definitely, there's other layers to that aspect that we want to be part of in the end.
And if you have a rough day, you've got your cats.
Or that. There you go. They're right here. Like I said, I was cooking salmon, and they're right here like leeches waiting for a piece.
So kind of a personal question. So when you were getting out of college and everything, and you decided to get into wargaming, were you prepared for the influx of all of the fan mail and all of the just the experiences coming with kind of, I guess, fame and stuff like that? Were you ready for that?
It's interesting because I used to work for a higher learning institution, a community college here in Chicago, and I was making pretty good money because I was leading a Title V grant, which created scholarships, and I used to mentor groups of college students, and I liked it, but in the end, it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I really love playing video games. Back in, the day, when the new PlayStation games came out, and then PlayStation 2, and then you have the Wii and all, you have a large range of games that I was just addicted. Everyone knows I'm a huge Mega Man fan. I even have a Mega Man tattoo. I love Mega Man.
That's
so
awesome.
I just got fed up working for the college, and I quit. And I noticed that Day One Studios was hiring testers, and it said no experience required. QA testing, that's how you start. There's no experience required. So I literally dropped my salary job for a $10 an hour job.
Oh, wow.
Because I really wanted to get in the game industry, and I just started to work from there. And I realized I have dyslexia, so I I really couldn't really take a design job or a business intelligence job because numbers really don't cooperate with me. It's been kind of a struggle since I've been in high school.
My middle daughter is affected by that. It's held her up, but she's doing so well. Dyslexia is one of the most, I think, underrated things.
No, it totally is, because you feel stupid, and that's how I felt in school because I kept failing math over and over and over again. And I still hate math. Math and I were not friends. I can tell you that. That is the one person or thing that I'm not friends with, math. So I really couldn't really go and take a design position because it's not going to work no matter how much I want it. If the company ends up giving me a design position, I would be doing a disservice to it because it's just not going to work. But since I mentor college students and I love to engage and talk and just assist as much as possible, I knew that community could be sort of like a vehicle for me to get in the industry. And I've been doing it since then. I love engaging with players. I love talking to them. I love making them happy. Sometimes they just have a rough day. I'm like, dude, chill out. Here you go. 3 days of premium. Go have fun. Destroy shit. And they're like, okay, that sounds cool. I love doing that. And that's definitely something that I enjoy. I feel honored that people would come up to me and say, hey, can I take a photo with you? It makes me really happy. And I hope I can continue to do this and, help the community as much as I can.
Well, that's really good to hear, though, that Wargaming has people that, you like playing video games. You're not just there working for them. It's one of those things that's a passion for you because, that's how you get stuff done is by having passionate employees. So that's good to hear that you enjoy playing video games and, that's your background and not one of those, you got into it for the job and then picked it up second.
No, I completely agree with you. And you know how earlier I said that sometimes it hurts my feelings when I read mean comments? I think they're more directed towards when someone says, oh, the devs don't know how to do what they're doing or something like that. It hurts my feelings because I work with these people and I know they're very passionate. Some of them have been working in the game industry for 20 plus years. Like they go way, way back before the computer was invented. So I know that's not true. The team that works in Chicago, they're very passionate. They love the games. They love the community, as passionate as they are. They really, really love. And, that's sometimes one of those things where I can't jump in the forums and be like, oh, that's not true, this and that. I have to understand where they're coming from and all. But when they said that devs don't know what they're doing or, they don't care about the community, that's completely untrue. Trust me, I swear on my cats. That is completely untrue.
Well, now it's a fact. As soon as she brings the cats into it, she's serious.
Yeah, the cats commute's like, don't mess with my cats because stuff's gonna happen.
So is there when the corporate office there in Chicago? I live in Springfield. Do they do tours of the corporate or?
Yeah, we actually do tours in Chicago. You just have to give me 2 weeks in advance.
Okay.
If you guys ever want to come down to Chicago, take a tour, and even sit down and talk with the design team, and share your ideas and ask questions, definitely contact me and I'll arrange. We'll have goodie bags for all of you, and certainly,
Awesome.
I was trying to coordinate something with Soviet Death on this coming Friday because he's gonna come to the player gathering in Cantini on Saturday. So if you're in town, let us know and we'll hang out with you guys.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really cool.
That's one of the. There's always a running joke. It goes on here that Beebs checks in the mail. We all do this for free, and we all do this. And Beaver is. Rightfully, I've boosted his ego quite a bit. He says the face that runs the place, but I think I'm gonna flip a bill for him to fly out of Tennessee, come up here, and we drive up to see you guys. And I think that would be one good day. Have some interviews and stuff like that. I would love to do that, and I probably will be contacting you real soon for that.
That'd be a good birthday present for Beaver. He's been talking to you now with the codes and stuff. It's a shame he couldn't be here tonight so you could talk to him as well. But hello, Beaver. I'm sure he's watching the stream.
Yep. I
Shout out to Beaver. No, for sure. And you guys are very involved with the competitive gaming. So if you ever come out soon, I think this is the perfect timing because the engineers and the design team want to get as many feedback from the competitive side as possible. And you guys, and as well as the WCL guys, are perfectly qualified to give us your honest feedback. And if there are things that you need, this is certainly the time to ask for those things.
That would be amazing. That way, we try to express the community's voice as much, and try different formats in the comp world, or let's try this different map, or hey, can we do something different can we just go out of the box? And we're always like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever, we can't please everybody, but we try to make it at least understanding, and so everybody will enjoy the show, and also coming in here. I mean, and it's big shout out to all the players and all the viewers. They're the guys that literally spend hours and hours on the game, grinding their preemie tanks for millions upon millions of silver to come play in the training room and not make a dime, not just to come in and have fun and have that competitive spirit.
And for the bragging rights, those don't hurt anybody either. But I've always said what we do, we try to be, for the community, by the community, right? Like all of us that put the show on were from different parts of it. None of us knew each other before we started doing this. And we came together from different clans and whatnot to put the show on. And then, what the community asks is what we do. Whatever they want to see or play, we'll put on. Whatever maps they want to do. And then, Hells likes to mix in his own thing, like we've been doing the Ravage Capital. As soon as that came out, at least once a night it gets played because Hells really took a liking to it, started pushing it. And now a lot of teams are asking to play it because they, enjoy it or saw it. And people get to watch their favorite teams play. Teams get fans, helps them with whatever, recruiting even. It's really an all-around great time.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how much time we did. They didn't tell me how long that we have with you.
Then abuse it. I mean, if they didn't give you a deadline, you're like, oh, it's mine now.
Well, I'm one of those gracious guys that goes, if you want to stick around and keep talking with us, it's amazing. As we speak, 36 Panzer and UGCC is putting on one heck of a show. That 1390 almost clinching it. That was.
I almost had to say something.
Yeah, we were right in the middle of that. So big shout out to all these guys that are playing right now from 36 Panzer and UGCC. You guys are the best, and you guys get to play and listen to RaiBOT pretty much at the same time. I mean, other than the 5-minute delay. So, I mean, you can't have. It almost makes me speechless, and that's rare.
No, you know what? Again, apologies. I should have joined to these streams because I think they're fun. But yeah, lately I've been running like a chicken with its head cut off. The whole Let's Battle Tour, Ohio travel, and then not even 24 hours, 12 hours later, come back to Chicago and then fly straight to Germany, and then a whole week there doing interviews, and then come back, and then, oh no, the player gathering, it's in 2 weeks, so make sure you organize all of that. So, yeah, I noticed that I was a bit MIA in the forums, but I've been trying to answer questions on Twitch and not only Twitch and Twitter, as well as Reddit. I know a few players were kind of upset that no one was showing on Reddit, but, we're working on that. I'm trying to be on all channels as much as I can, but definitely I want to join you guys once in a while just to answer a few questions, and if not, keep you company.
Yeah, sometime we'll get you in here to watch the games with us as well. They're always exciting. That's half the fun. But I noticed lately also more wargaming people have been showing up in Discord rooms, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Because
always a good sign.
yeah, for a lot of the competitive community, a lot of it's on Discord. Like all the stuff we do for setting up is on Discord. A lot of the teams we communicate is also there. And the forums are great to reach a large number. Obviously, the forums are huge. And there's a lot of those people that don't use Discord, but a lot of the bigger and more, potentially serious competitive teams use Discord. So it's good to see wargaming people in those Discords. It's, reassuring. They're out there answering questions and doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, for sure. I know Hector. Maybe I'm outing him. Maybe he doesn't want to know his name. It's Tank Zero. I think that was. Yeah. He's the one that pretty much pinpointed me to you guys. He's like, hey, this Discord chat. They have tournaments and all. I want to add you there. So he was the one that pretty much told me that there were channels and chats going on. So when I came in, I realized that there was a lot, not only just you guys, but other players who were asking questions and this and that, especially in the World Tanks console channel. So now I'm thankful that I'm here. So there's another outlet of information that I can, extract from and bring back to the development team.
Good. I'm sure the players appreciate it. Just having a,
even
just a way.
I mean, especially like some of the new people and the younger, they get into this Discord channel and they're like, whoa. They see all these, different people and they start getting immersed in, with win 8s and all this other stuff. And, it's always one of those things, well, is the boss in here? Is wargaming in here? And then, you look on the side and there it is. I think it gives them a little reassurance going, yes, this is real. This is tangent. This is not no fake, just message room. I think, and I talk about the working class guy, the guys that, we want to introduce them into the comp world. They know how to tank. They know how to angle. They know, how to lead a target, yada, yada. But because you always want to expand. You want to bring in, that's why I like this tournament. This very weekend, the New Blood tournament is just for new guys, having all the new guys come in and more blood into the comp community. So that means more people playing on, the game overall. So, and you guys have been doing so great in these last 3 months of just new stuff for them to see, new stuff to do. And you guys have just revitalized the entire game. And I want to say thank you. All of Wednesday Night Fight thanks you.
Oh, no, we appreciate that. Thank you. Seriously, thank you guys, because you're the community that's supporting us, really. This community and the game would not really happen if it weren't for not all the players who support us, whether they spend gold or not. That's one of the things that players were asking me, like, well, if they don't spend any money, what are they doing? They're also populating our servers. So, it's a big thank you for players who choose to support us monetarily and players who choose to just play the game and still support us in that way. We really could not be doing this. And we all in Chicago, all the devs and, developers in Baltimore, we seriously have the dream job. It's nothing but a pleasure. And yes, there are challenges and, we don't speak of the devil, the fatherland up, but, we've had our hiccups here and there. But certainly, we want to keep doing this for a while, for sure.
Awesome.
Well, with the people spending gold or not, like my thing has always been, I have played, this is probably the game I've played most out of any game ever. And I've played this game more than a lot of games that I've spent, $60 on to buy them new. So I've got no problem, buying Prem time and buying premium tanks and stuff, because the amount of time and enjoyment I've gotten out of this game has been way more than I've gotten out of a lot of games that I've paid full price for.
Yeah, and everybody knows I'm not shy to say how much I've spent. I know I'm in that group of you just don't count no more after the first 1,000 flies by. So you realize you
I might be in that group too.
It's one of those. Once you realize, yeah, this is going to be the only game I play for the rest of my life because now I've sunk in. And like I said, after the first 1,000, you just don't count no more. It's just like, yeah, there we go. Like
At that point, you're just like, I'm just not even gonna look. I'm not gonna do this.
But and then that's the passion that we love, meeting all these people that, and they're dedicated to this game. Look at we have all these guys come out, and I'm going to leave this game nameless because it's not, it just hit the market, and we got people wanting to do comps. I've seen a lot of these guys on my friend list. They've been playing that other game that just launched, and then they shut it off just because they want to come out on Wednesday night fights and have fun with the community and enjoy the show that we can put on for them. So
that's why I think competitive is so important, because I play a lot of pubs with people and friends and stuff, but when I play competitive, you're together with 7 other people you enjoy playing with, or 6 other people rather you enjoy playing with. It gives you a reason to practice, to get together, and it really just keeps you engaged. And that's been the most fun with doing this and playing competitive. I think it's such an important aspect of the game, and that's why it's so nice to see Wargaming finally yes, this is going to be the focus for now. This is what we were trying to do. And I'm sure people appreciate it immensely.
Thank you. No, again, we're going to continue to do this for a while. Until there are no more tanks, but that's never going to happen. There will always be more tanks.
Now, okay, I guess I did one more, interview question more. Everybody's so stuck on the Swedes. My biggest thing is, I want to know, is there ever a chance for the German heavy buff? Like the mouse, because of its really soft turret cheeks and E5 ripping right through it at any range.
She already answered all the balance question. You're getting a little redundant. She said,
oh, yes.
Any balance changes will be later this fall.
Fall. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm just getting
and
jammed
that
up.
comes with the feedback that we received. Actually, Max Chaos was the one who gathered all the buff requests to the ticket of evaluation of the game. So everything that the community has requested for a while now, it's attached to that, and the revisions will be considered.
See, that's awesome. I'm just trying to answer. A lot of the viewers are PMing me questions to ask, and I got to get a few of them out there. So the Sweden one and that, there you go, guys. You got your answer.
People have had a hard time grasping that. It seems like when they see PC get a tank or a buff or something,
When are
they
we
just
gonna get
immediately expect that it fits perfectly into Xbox.
Yeah.
They don't realize how different the two games really are. They're worldly different as far as
They
the
really
meta
are.
and everything goes. So they can't, if they just cookie cuttered all the PC buffs, if it worked on PC, it might be detrimental here, or a detrimental one on PC could work here, but there's no way of knowing, so you can't just expect the mouse buff to be out 2 weeks later on Xbox.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
No, I completely agree with that, but it's kind of like it's a yes and no, because when players see something happening on PC, I'm like, when is it coming in console? And then I say, we are not PC. Console is its own game. But then I am here saying, when PC does something that works, we kind of want to do it. So it is kind of like an oxymoron in some degree in certain aspects of the game development itself. But again, we are two different titles, but we are on the same company, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be working standalone or on our own. We definitely collaborate and work with each other, not only to improve the game for the community, but to kind of see what works and what doesn't, and just take it from there.
Buff the 50B. I gotta try when I can.
So out to D2AC Magic, that cat. Your cat's getting some mad loves there, RaiBOT. So everybody's loving the kitties.
They're in good hands.
I'm surprised my cat's not in here screaming in my ear.
I think everyone knows, but I have two three-legged cats, and the one of their brother and sister, and I don't think I've heard my little girl, my tabby, meow after 3 years that I've had her, because she was very shy, and it's a rescue cat, so
Yes.
now she won't shut up. She really won't shut up. And it's like, okay, those 3 years that you did not meow for me, I guess now you're compensating for all the times.
I'm making up for it.
Yeah,
Well,
she
I
told
have,
me.
I have one cat and one dog, and my cat was similar. It just kind of showed up, and it was a stray cat, so I couldn't turn it away. And
Way
so
mine was.
yeah, right. I couldn't do anything. She never really meowed until I got a dog, and then once I got my dog, she became a lot more vocal. It was just one day she was like, "Okay, it's gonna happen now."
She's right here. I'm giving her pets because she thinks I'm going to give her salmon, but she's mistaken. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your love is all she's gonna get.
And be grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, you're right. I took you in. Aren't I owed something? I rescued you.
Oh, well.
2 3-legged cats, though. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, they're really cute. I had another one. She was a calico who sadly passed like 3 years ago. And when they would run around, it's funny because my three-legged cats were faster than she was, and she was a four-legged cat. So I'm like, wow, these cats are supernatural. They have powers or something. Boop, 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 boop. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start taking off.
Well, thank you.
Because I also need to feed the furry ones up here.
Well, I want to say on my part that thank you so very much. I know Beaver's probably sitting at work with a huge smile. His gratification of bringing RaiBOT to WNF, to the community, and to all the guys. I know he has a huge smile on his face right now. So, thank you from me personally. Thank you for coming out and talking to us. Go ahead, Anarchy.
Yeah, no, really, thank you as much as I can, for coming and commentating for a bit. And if you ever want to do it again, let us know. We'd be glad to have you. And hopefully, if you decide to do it next time, we can make sure Mr. Beaver himself is here to meet you. I'm sure he would appreciate it.
Oh my god, for sure. Now you guys got me addicted to this, so I'm gonna be leeching on every Wednesday, I guess.
We also have shows on Monday and Friday, if that makes it better for you. Same time. 3 shows a week, 8 to 10. Sometimes
8 to
7
10.
to 10, depending on.
Awesome. Thank you so very much for having me, guys. And again, if you want to find me, send me a message in the forums or Twitter or Reddit or Discord or Facebook.
Or smoke signals.
Or smoke signals. And we also have the weekly assault@wargaming.net. So even email, you can reach me. So I am reachable. You can just ping me, send me. Oh, and also Twitch. Message me on Twitch. Whatever I can do for you guys, please let me know. The development studio is here for you guys, and anything we can do, we'll do it.
Awesome, and we'll see you here soon. We'll have a Wednesday night fight retreat, and we'll go paint the town red up in Chicago, and come see you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good evening.
You too, ma'am. Alrighty, guys, there we go. RaiBOT herself
Like
coming.
I might have to play for TNG when it comes. Just a heads up.
No problem.
Aww.
I know, cry every time.
So,
They
yeah, guys,
need me.
definitely hit her up. 2 thumbs up, or as Anarchy would say out of his famous 10 out of 10 would approve. That was amazing. Actually, having her come in, she's been helping us since the beginning, the conception of Wednesday Night Fights, and helping us, in the originally giving out little MVP codes, and now able to get what we have and building up to give out the MVP codes again. I'm like starstruck, I think I behaved myself. I think I was a good guy.
No, you were perfect. Some of your questions were really thought-provoking. I appreciated them. I thought they were good.
Well,
Wait,
thank
we were
you.
supposed to be good guys?
Right.
Oh, okay. No. You guys don't have to be nice or good.
Okay.
I have
You're
Okay.
under no contractual obligations to be good.
Yeah, no. In your guys' actual contract, you guys actually get paid to be a male appendage. So, I have to be the nice one, which I love to do because I am a nice guy. But look at these two teams. These have been close between 36 Panzer and UGCC. You know, honestly, why does they run 36 Panzer? 90% of their team's 12 Panzer.
Man, they just haven't made the switch yet. Maybe it's a first and second team. I'm really not sure.
Yeah.
Apologies for not having amazing commentary on the actual matches, but when you have RaiBOT here, it's hard to talk about the games because we get to ask questions that we don't always get to. So the games have been extremely exciting to watch. We just haven't been commentating on the games themselves as well as perhaps we should have been. But RaiBOT's a rare occurrence, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dexter even got a few words in there, which is weird. It was frightening.
Yeah, that was
talked.
awesome.
That caught me out of left field. Beaver said he's going to watch the show on his break.
Well, I'm trying to take care of Discord stuff.
I saw that, yeah. And maybe even Hells is making an appearance at the Wargaming Chicago offices at some point. That would be something.
Yep.
Oh, it's coming
Somebody
right.
will have to videotape that one.
Oh, it's going to be streamed live.
That's pretty cool. They offer tours of the office. You go, you get some stuff. You get to ask questions with the devs. They said now's the good time. They're doing competitive stuff. Hells, they want your input. You can't miss out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anarchy, I'm going to get you a plane ticket. Get Beav a ticket, and we'll live stream short burps. We'll have live shows during the day while we drive up there. I mean, Dex, I don't know how many.
You have to make sure you blur out Anarchy's face.
True.
Yeah, me and Nerva
Such a mystery, man.
Me and Nerva just as soon drive out there. Me and Nerva are relatively close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, we can meet up somewhere as long as it's now not the rougher end of Chicago. No offense to any of our Chicago guys, but I've been there, done that, and that was a scary. All right, so here we go. 12 Panzer holding on by dear life. They need to win this match. No more draws. You get that one draw, and then you continue on. So they need to win this one,
and the next one to do the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they need. They're playing catch up, and then yet again, guys, Beeb set up a blockbuster night, and this is just the beginning. Everything hasn't even went completely on. I mean, Anarchy, do you want to go down the scheduling for this evening? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, right after this, as soon as this is over, Nightmare versus TNG2. I mean, it's going to be a great match. And then the streak's on the line, On Your 6 versus NFTG, which that has the potential to be game of the night.
Yes. Much agreed. And it's going to be pulling my heartstrings because everybody could see. And
oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, I'm a huge supporter of On Your 6. I love those guys. They have nothing but utmost
but
love.
Then we also have to support NFTG.
Well, Hells has to. We don't have to. Hells has to. I do not have to.
Well, and that's the thing. Being NFTG, I got to root for my boys. I got to cheer. So I might go into a split personality mode. Kind of like
Let's just mute Hells and me and Anarchy can talk about that one.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, I'm on your 6 all the way.
Let me have my 7 moment. Let me have
No,
my
you
7
don't
moment.
You don't even get to talk while they play.
Yeah, because we just know you're gonna be back and forth. Like, oh, I like that push, but I also don't like that push because it hurts my team.
Such a smart move. Such a smart move. Such a dumb
Why
move
did
on
they
the
have
other
to
side.
do it?
Why'd you go that way? You
ruined it.
All right, so here we go. UGCC not messing around. Get those E50s up there by the cap. Donk needs to be careful here, so he might get spotted going to the rocks. Let's see if he does. You see TK there getting spot up from the light tank, hanging out over in the G6 area. All right, so Donk did his job, lights up and shows where the pair E50s is.
And then he shoots, then he gets spotted.
Oh, why'd you shoot? That gets rid of all your camos, but at least he has the rock to hide behind. And that T-71 is kind of small. Epic Hunter's about ready to have a really bad day. And he even dirts the shot. So, I mean, he just
a bad day made worse.
Yeah. So, but yet again, it's kind of crazy. The light tank, uncontested, is going to have complete open shots towards the center if anybody does push. So, and
once he realizes that they're not sending anybody out there, I wouldn't hate seeing him go over to where their cap would be on standard and start putting in flanking shots on those guys trying to brawl just to harass them.
Yeah, get over, dug in at G2, hide in the bushes, the buildings, use the surroundings. So right now, UGCC ahead, just because of hit points. Track shot into TK. I don't know if he wanted to use his repair kit right then and there, but Killatrilla trying to get an edge. We're going to check on the light tank over here. Donk's still alive and still spotted. Oh, Pink Toaster getting right into the mix. So right now it's all UGCC, just slowly bleeding out. Oh, Pink Toaster gets it again. Marine JB, who got a astounding 3,400 2 games ago.
I wish that 1390 thing happened when we were doing this, because that was super exciting. But unfortunately, we were entrenched in a conversation that was extremely interesting in its own right. But Thomas hitting on that 1390, he almost had, he hit 2 really nice snapshots, and that could have been a 1v3 clutch against heavy tanks.
Yeah, again,
that would have been something. But still, I like seeing that guy make him work for it,
Yes.
Don't give up the easy win no matter how bad things are, because I guarantee you made the other team sweat the fact that they could have lost that.
C-Rex pushed to getting punished on that.
E50 flanks coming. Cav and ACG, if they're not going to know that's coming, they're going to hop over, start putting in those E50 flank shots. That's going to sting a bit. UGCC might be able to close this out right here if this flank goes well. That might be enough to kind of crush them.
All right, not a good trade. 2 for 1 over there for 36 Panzer. Now the push is on. They know the overmatch. Marine is out of the fight. Way back. So
he honestly would have been better served on that big raised bit, because then he wouldn't have had that big rock wall in front of all of his shots.
Yeah. Donk coming in.
Regardless, he's out of the fight. But
Donk getting tracked. Oh, boy.
Oh, he's not going to run.
Yep, that's... All right, so Marine...
Oh, Shaq, it's up to you.
Yeah, the Marine went out on his own. You can only go out on your own for a short... You need to be together.
Yeah, especially when they got mobility with those E50s.
Yes.
If they had wanted to, he would have been just an easy snack for them when they flanked, but they were more focused on his other guys.
All right, there it is. UGCC taking it.
All right, let TNG and N know the room is open.
And while we do that, I'm just going to take a short break.